Hello everyone and welcome to my vlog. This is Oliver Teacher with a new set of words, phrases, expressions, collocations, idioms, proverbs, and many other vocabulary. I hope you can use my posts in your daily conversations and exams. And without further ado, here are this week's vocabulary. And we start with Monday. Monday is our alternative vocabulary day, and this Monday I'd like to explain the word express. So I say, don't say show your feelings or tell your opinion. Say express your feelings or express your opinions. You will sound like a professor. All right, our first example is the teacher's talking. In my class, everybody can express their opinions, but they have to listen to and respect the others in class. Our second example. He expressed his feelings for his girlfriend by writing letters to her the old-fashioned way. As there is not much explanation required, we can move on to Tuesday. Tuesday is our difficult vocabulary day, and we start with the word adorn. Adorn is a verb. The noun form of adorn is adornment, and the adjective is adorable. The meaning: to adorn means to decorate something, to make something more beautiful. And our example: beautiful oil paintings adorned the walls of the villa. Our second example. A pretty-looking necklace adorned the neck of the little girl. In this case, the word adorn means basically to make something nice, beautiful, and you can use many kinds of accessories, or as in the first example, oil paintings to make it more beautiful, to decorate. The word villa, as you know, is a big house with probably a garden. So there were many oil paintings in the villa. Our second word, aberration. Aberration is a noun, and the adjective is aberrant. Let's take a look at the meaning. Something that is not normal, usual, or typical, and also not welcomed. And irregularity, oddity, or anomaly. Now, I have explained it a lot here, but an aberration is basically something that is not normal. That's the basic thing that we should remember. Examples. In these parts of the country, it's usually dry in summer and rain is considered an aberration. Second example. It is an aberration for such a smart and hardworking student to get such low grades. You should definitely double check her paper. A little bit of explanation. Now, if rain is not considered normal in summer, then rain would be considered an aberration. In the second example, this student usually gets very high grades, and suddenly there is a big drop in her scores, in her grades. So there's probably something wrong with it. So the teachers should double check and see if there is any aberration here, if there's anything not normal here. Wednesday. Wednesday we have two phrasal verbs. The first phrasal verb is come across, and the second phrasal verb is to cut down on. To come across is usually used when we meet somebody or find something by chance and without any plan. I guess another phrasal verb with the same meaning would be run into. Examples. As I was looking at some second-hand items at the flea market, I came across the exact antique radio my grandfather used to listen to. And our second example, I came across my old pal Francis the other day, and he said that he was still working at the library. A little bit of explanation for the first one. Flea market. Flea market is the place that people buy and sell used secondhand items, and they usually sell for a very, very low price. So a flea market. An antique radio is probably a radio that is, I don't know, maybe 40, 50, 60 years old. And I have one in my house, and I really used to listen to this antique radio with my grandfather when I was in elementary school. And our second example, cut down on, to reduce or to use less. A quick tip, cut down on is frequently used with verb ing or with something. So we cut down on a verb or we cut down on something. And we will see in the examples what we mean. So the first example, doctor talks to the patient and says, if you don't cut down on smoking now, you will have serious lung problems in the future. And our second example, the world needs to cut down on the usage of fossil fuels like petroleum or coal if we are to improve the quality of the air we breathe. Okay, a little bit of explanation. In the first one, as you can see, I have used verb ing after the word cut down on, or after the phrasal verb cut down on smoking. But you can use this with many other verbs that are maybe not healthy for us, like cut down on eating snacks or cut down on drinking too much. But we can also use the word cut down on with something, like in the second example, cut down on the usage of fossil fuels. You could say cut down on petroleum, cut down on coal, but as we also gave examples for eating, cut down on snacks or junk food, for example, you can also use. All right, quick explanation on the vocabulary that is a bit difficult here. Lung problems. Lungs are the parts in our body that we use for breathing. We take the air in and the air goes into our lungs. And the second one, coal. Coal is something black. It comes out from the ground and we use it for burning to produce energy. Fossil fuels, there are 3 different types of fossil fuels. Petroleum, I guess everybody knows this one. Coal, and the third one is natural gas. These are the 3 types of fossil fuels. I crossed out the word want to because I want to give you an alternative to the word want to. I said are to, if we are to. This is a very formal expression, and this sentence itself you would hear maybe from a scientist. So if you use this, you would sound like a scientist. Moving on to Thursday. Thursday we have collocations. Collocations are a group of words that are used together and that sound very natural together. The word I have chosen for this week is bad, and bad is an adjective, and there will be 4 collocations for this day. First one, be bad at doing something. It means to not be skilled at doing something, and as you can see, I have explained here that you have to use the verb ing, or you have to use something. And our first collocation with bad is to be bad at doing. It means to be not skilled at something, to do something very badly, maybe, very terribly, maybe. Our examples, first one, he is bad at drawing pictures, but good at singing. Second example, being bad at cooking, my father usually stays away from the kitchen and helps out elsewhere in the house. As you can see in the first example, just the way we say bad at something or to be bad at doing, we also say good at doing something. So you can also use this one, to be good at doing something. And in the second one, I use the word being bad at cooking at the very beginning of the sentence. It basically means because he is bad at cooking. Our second collocation with bad is a bad apple. A bad apple is a troublemaker. Usually this troublemaker is a part of a group, but not everybody in the group is bad. It's just like one or two people from a very big group. So we call them the bad apples. Moving on to our example. Teachers shouldn't hate a whole class due to the few bad apples in it. Second example. There will always be a few bad apples in every group. Now I crossed out the word because of and I used the word due to. And I hope you will also do this and you will use the word due to instead of because of. They have the same meaning basically. And in the second example, there's nothing special. So moving on to the third collocation with bad, I use the word my bad because I hear this very often in TV series, and young people very often use, oh, sorry, this is my bad. It means it's my mistake, it's my fault, it's my undoing, if you want to use this one as well. And our example, I apologize for breaking the glass. That was my bad. Second one. It was Jason's bad to kill the fish by overfeeding it. Again, in the first example, I crossed out the word I'm sorry for because everybody knows how to say I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, but please use the word apologize. So I said, I apologize for breaking the glass. And again, please pay attention. After for, we use verb ing. So you can say breaking or hurting or any other verb ing after I apologize for. And in the second example, I said Jason's bad. So it's not always my bad, my bad. You can also use a person's name to talk about somebody's bad. Our final collocation with bad, go bad, meaning to decay, to rot, and this is usually used for food items. Our example, Dory, dear, can you help me put the uneaten slices of pizza in the fridge? Otherwise, they will go bad. Second example, oh man, you left the milk on the table yesterday night. It has gone bad and now we need to buy some more. Now for the explanation, the words decay or rot are very often used for food items or things that are quite natural, and when you don't keep them in the refrigerator, they will start to smell bad. We can also use the word decay for teeth. When somebody doesn't brush their teeth for a long time, then their tooth will decay and they need to see a dentist because it will hurt a lot. Rot is very often used for trees, for example. When trees become old in the forest and then they fall, and over the time they will rot and they will just disappear. In the examples, I try to give an example for a grandmother talking to her granddaughter. So Dory is the granddaughter. And in the second example, I try to say something that may happen in my house from time to time. The kids drink milk in the evening or at night, and they forget to put it into the refrigerator. And in the morning, the milk just turns sour. It starts to smell in a different way, and it cannot be used anymore. So this milk goes bad. Good. And we have arrived at Friday. Friday is our English idiom day. So we'll explain an English idiom here. Today's idiom is look like something the cat dragged in. Look like something the cat dragged in. Meaning to have a very dirty and untidy appearance. So it basically means to look terrible. And our examples, first one, I'm not going out with you looking like that. You look like something the cat dragged in. Brush your hair and put on some clean clothes. Our second example. When Jamie went to the wedding party looking like something the cat dragged in, her family was shocked and turned red with embarrassment. This idiom is all about the way we look. It's about our appearance. So if somebody looks terrible, I mean the appearance, their hair maybe, their clothing, all of it together, if it looks terrible, then we can actually use this expression, look like something the cat dragged in. And that's all for Friday. Saturday. Saturday is proverb day, so let's take a look at our proverb for this week. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Careful here, the word fond means like more. I am very fond of something, I like something very much. And the meaning. Being away from someone makes you like him or her even more. Well, this proverb basically means that when you are away from somebody or someone that you like very much, you like them even more. It could be a person, it could be a place. So when it is not there, when it is absent, you like it more. Our examples. First one. The young man found out that absence makes the heart grow fonder when he went away to go to university and missed his parents a lot. Second example. Although all high school children fancy the long summer holidays, however, many miss their friends and teachers as absence makes their heart grow fonder. So with the first example, you grow up, you go to university, you are away from your family. Maybe for many of you, this is the first time. So you feel homesick. You feel you miss your family. So that's when we use absence makes the heart grow fonder. In the second example, you can see I have crossed out a lot of parts. The first one is like, as in enjoy. And a very British expression would be fancy. I fancy something, I like something. Americans wouldn't use this very much, but I like to teach for all groups, so it doesn't matter if it's American or British pronunciation or if it's American or British vocabulary. The second word that I have crossed out is but, and I have used the word however, and I suggest all of you stop using the word but and use the word however, or another one, maybe yet. And the third one that I have crossed out is because, and please pay attention to the pronunciation. It's not because, it's because with an O sound, and the meaning is as. Again, I strongly advise all my followers, all my students to stop using the word because and start using the word as, or start using the word since. They have the same meaning, but they sound much better, much better. Okay. Now, it's Sunday, and Sunday means foreign word in English day. We have two foreign words for this Sunday. First one is de facto, and the second one is a cappella. We'll start with de facto. It's a Latin word, and 90% of my followers would actually know this word because it's also the name of a shop in Turkey. So let's take a look at the meaning. It basically means that it is there as a fact, as a reality, but formally it is not recognized, or officially it is not recognized. Like certain countries could be like that. Taking a look at the examples, first example, although some countries print their own money, the US dollar is so common there that tourists think it's the de facto currency of the country. Second example, after the death of her parents, 16-year-old Claire became the de facto head of the family of 3. Let's see what the examples mean. In the first one, I actually know that there is one country. The name of the country is Puerto Rico, and it is very close to the United States. the capital is San Juan. And in this country, they actually use the US dollar quite a lot. So you can go there and you can use US dollars to buy something from a supermarket, but they also have their own currency. So the US dollar is very, very common, so common that it's considered the de facto currency, the money that is used in this country. And in the second one, I talked about a 16-year-old girl. She is not an adult, so she cannot be the head of the family. However, because her parents are dead, she has become the de facto head of the family, not on paper, but in reality. That's the basic meaning of de facto. Not on paper, but in reality. And family of three basically means there are three people in the family. Our second word is a cappella, and it's also Latin, and it means a song that is sung by voice without any instruments. A very good example, I guess, is Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. Examples. Religious music is usually sung a cappella, yet it can sometimes be accompanied by one or two instruments. The a cappella performance of the class was far better compared with their performance in the company of musical instruments. Again, a little bit of explanation. I crossed out the word but and I used the word yet, and you should also do that in the future. And in the second example, I crossed out the word then. So instead of saying better than, you can say better compared with. And I also crossed out the word together with, and I said in the company of. The word company is used as like a firm, a company. You set up a company and you work there. This is one meaning, but in the company of means together. That's basically the meaning. You can see this word also in a different form in the first example. It says be accompanied by, and it also means together. Together with one or two instruments in this case. I hope you have enjoyed my mini lesson on my weekly vocabulary. I will post new vocabulary on my Instagram page at Oliver Teacher every day and record them after the week is over and share them here on YouTube. I am everywhere on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I'm also on Tumblr, Google+, and VK. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you next week. Bye.